All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to pop the hood on a single piece of tech, the Tapo RoomCam 4K. We're going to use its own product page to figure out what really makes a modern security camera tick.
And that brings us to the big question for this whole explainer. What does smart even mean when we're talking about a security camera? Is it just about having a good lens? Is it the app? Or something else entirely? We're about to find out.
So we're going to deconstruct this one device piece by piece. By the time we're done, I think we'll all have a much better handle on what smart really means for these little gadgets we put in our homes.
So at its heart, what is this thing? Well, it's an indoor camera. Its basic job is to show you a super clear picture of a room and let you look around. But the real magic, the smart stuff, that's all about what happens after it captures that image.
Okay, first things first. Let's talk about the most basic part of any camera. Its eyes. What can this thing see and, how well can it see it?
And the very first thing that jumps out is this number right here, 4K. That is a huge deal. It's pretty much the foundation for everything else this camera is capable of seeing.
Now, 4K can just sound like a buzzword, right? But what it actually means is 4 times the resolution of standard 1080p. And that's the difference between seeing a blurry shape and being able to read the fine print on a package or see some tiny detail across the room. It's all about clarity.
But look, having a super sharp image is only half the battle. A static camera, no matter how good, is always going to have blind spots. So that brings us to its other key visual trick, its range of motion.
This little camera can literally look all the way around, a full 360 degrees. It uses a pan and tilt motor to physically move the lens, so you get a complete view of the room. It's not just a fixed peephole, it's actively looking around.
So, we have a super high-res image and the ability to look anywhere. What happens when you combine those two things? Well, you get zoom, a lot of it.
Now, this is digital zoom, which usually means a fuzzy, pixelated mess. But because you're starting with such a massive 4K image, zooming in is like taking a magnifying glass to a super detailed photograph. You can punch in, weigh in, and still get a sharp, useful image. You're just making use of all those extra pixels.
Okay, but what about when the lights go out? Most cameras just switch over to that grainy, black and white infrared view. This one has something called a starlight sensor. Think of it like giving the camera night vision, but in full color. It's so sensitive that it can pull vivid color out of what looks like near total darkness to our eyes, which is a total game changer for nighttime security.
So we've covered the camera's eyes. Now it's time to talk about its brain, the artificial intelligence that actually makes sense of everything it sees. This right here is where we get to the core of the smart features.
And this is a really, really big deal. So many companies sell you a camera and then charge you a monthly fee to unlock the cool AI features. Here, it's all built in. No subscription, no paywall. The smarts are just part of the package.
So what can this AI actually do? Well, it's way more than just motion detected. We've all gotten those alerts because a shadow moved or a tree branch swayed, right? This AI is trained to tell the difference between random movement, an actual person, and it can even pick up the specific sound of a baby crying. That means the alerts you get actually mean something. Now, it's not just what it detects, it's how. All that thinking happens right on the camera itself. It's called on-device processing, and that matters for 2 huge reasons: speed and privacy. It's faster, so you get alerts instantly. And more importantly, your personal video footage isn't being shipped off to some server in the cloud for analysis. It stays local. And this is where the hardware and software really dance together. The AI brain sees something moving, and it immediately tells the camera's pan and tilt motor to follow it. So if someone walks across the room, the camera literally turns its head to keep them in the shot, all by itself. Okay, so a camera this powerful brings up some pretty big questions about privacy and who's in control. So let's dig into how you, the user, actually manage this thing and the data it's collecting.
You've got 2 different ways to handle privacy. The first is in the software. It's called privacy zones. You can just draw a black box over an area, like your desk, and the camera will never record that spot. But for that extra 100% peace of mind, there's a physical privacy mode where the lens actually rotates down into the casing and hides itself. Can't record what it can't see. When it comes to saving your videos, you've got options. You can just pop in a micro SD card and store everything right there on the device. No fees, no strings attached. Or, if you want a cloud backup, you can subscribe to their service. The key takeaway is that you don't have to pay a subscription to make it work. And of course, it checks all the other boxes you'd expect.
You've got two-way audio to talk through it, a built-in siren to scare someone off, and yeah, it plays nice with Alexa, Google, and all the usual smart home suspects.
All right, let's wrap this up. We'll take a quick look at what's in the box and then touch on one final, pretty important point about the company's whole philosophy.
Inside the box, it's exactly what you'd expect. You get the camera itself, the power adapter, and a mounting kit with all the screws and templates you need to get it set up.
Now this is actually really interesting. The company, Tapo, has signed on to something called the Secure by Design Pledge. It's basically a public commitment with the US Cybersecurity Agency to build security into their products from the very start, not just as an afterthought. It shows they're taking this stuff seriously.
Which brings us right back to our original question. A smart camera isn't just one thing. It's this blend of high-end vision, on-device AI, and user-focused privacy controls. But as these devices get more and more capable, it leaves us with one final thought, doesn't it? As our cameras get smarter, where do we, as individuals, draw the line on privacy? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.